gentlemen, I'll invite everybody to take their seats. We'll get started here in just a couple of minutes, so come on and fill in. There are a few more seats available for you assorted dignitaries.
Is irrelevant. What matters is the moment, the game, the crest on the front of your jersey, the people you play for. Are you going to make history? Are you going to save the day? Are you going to score a hat trick, break some ankles, or give a kid the thrill of a lifetime? This is what the movement is all about. These moments that matter. The USL Super League.
What does it take to be first? It takes early mornings and late nights. It demands practice, patience, and perseverance. You must work harder and smarter, becoming faster, stronger, and tougher. It requires determination, grit, and guts.
Being first means lifting every voice and standing up for each other. It's about resilience, getting knocked down and rising again.
To be first, you must want it more. You need to embrace risks and seize opportunities. Teamwork and cooperation are essential, fueled by a passion for the game, the sport, and the thrill of victory.
Are you ready, Jacksonville? Major League Women's Soccer is coming to the First Coast, bringing with it a bold new team for our city to rally behind. The USL Super League will elevate women's soccer to new heights, introducing the first ever professional women's sports team for JAX.
Sporting JAX will pave a new pathway to pro soccer, allowing young women and girls to represent our city and region at the highest levels.
The future of women's soccer is here. Now is the time to support this movement. Be among the first to get your season tickets at sportingjax.com and be a part of her story. Be bold. Be first.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Cole Pepper. It has been quite an impressive last couple of months for Sporting JAX, the USL Super League, and the USL. Just think about what's happened here since the spring began. An announcement of a first division men's team, a men's league, promotion and relegation coming to the USL environment. We've named our first head of soccer, Mark Warburton, and announced a partnership as our kit partner with Adidas. And today, we get to introduce to you the first coach in Sporting JAX history and the first coach of a professional women's sports team in the history of the city of Jacksonville. Very excited to be able to do that. To start us off, let me welcome up Mark Warburton, our head of soccer and sporting director.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. A pleasure to be here to introduce the new coach. I thought it might be good to give a little reason or background as to how we got here and, more importantly, why we got to this point. So I was conducting or building the roster with the help of many other people and speaking to Stacey about one of her players. And the more we spoke, it turns out she's a West Ham United fan. So the first hour, the next half an hour was talking West Ham, and then we got on to the actual player, which lasted about 5 minutes. So that was how the conversation went. But in truth, we carried on talking football, and then we had the Zoom with the player, which was great, and we talked football again. And the more I spoke to Stacey about the game, I understood her communication skills, I understood her knowledge of the game, her passion for the game, her desire to keep on learning, the empathetic streak, which was evident in everything she spoke about, and her real love to advance the game forward and for women's soccer. And the answer was in front of my face. And I spoke to Steve and the staff and said, the actual answer is here. It's a left field choice in terms of, Stacey was very surprised, I think, by my phone call, but it was obvious to me. And I think sometimes you follow it and you look at all, do your due diligence, but you realise there's an outstanding candidate that could be superb for for the club. So, on that note, it was delighted to chat more to Stacey, to get the backing of the ownership group in terms of the appointment, but delighted to welcome Stacey here, and I'm sure you'll be equally as impressed as I have been throughout the process. So, welcome Stacy Valum.
Thank you, everybody. I'm very, very excited. Obviously, this is a dream come true. You know, playing the game from a really early age, I always had the ambition to be a professional soccer player. And, you know, also wanted to come over and play over here in the United States. And as I continued and furthered my career in England first, I then managed to follow my dream and play over in the United States, which then led me into a professional soccer career. Played over in Iceland professionally. And then I was given the opportunity, my first coaching opportunity at the school where I played. And so that door cracked open for me to begin my coaching career. Not once did I even think that I would have this opportunity to be a head coach of a professional team. Once speaking to Mark the first time, just the drive, the ambition, the vision for the club really excited me. Just being around the staff today, it's evident, brilliant business minds, along with really hard-working staff that are really energetic and enthusiastic to get this off the ground and to create a great thing here in Jacksonville. And then to be amongst the soccer legends like Mark and Becky right here beside me is amazing. So there is a lot of excitement. I feel very privileged to be in this position, and I thank you all for welcoming me here in Jacksonville, and I can't wait to get started. Thank you.
We have been waiting for this day for a while, and I'm super excited for Stacy and for the club, because here's what I know. Everybody that I talk to about Stacy says the same things. And when you have something like that happens, you know that it's just who she is, because it's getting repeated all the time. And here's the things I always hear. Passion, great relationship and community builder, somebody who understands the game at a high level, and somebody who really wants to take on a project like this, which is being the first. Because being the first has a lot of opportunity, and there's also a lot of, a little bit of scariness, because I've walked this path, right? It's like you're doing something for the very first time, and that takes a lot of courage. And I really respect Stacy for that, because it is up to you to set the standards. It's up to you to define, to manage, and to model exactly what you want for this club. And I don't think we could have picked a better person. I'm really good friends with the last stop that she had in coaching, and really good friends with the first stop she had when she came over here to play. Those two coaches, they are just, I think the last stop is like, man, you're getting a good one, I'm losing a good one. And then the first stop, the coach that she had that came over, I mean, she just could not stop talking about how excited she was for this opportunity for Stacy. And I just want to echo that, and I'm excited for you guys to get to know her as we go through this process. And I just want to give a big shout out to Mark for leading the charge on this, because this is not an easy process. You really want to pick somebody that brings the vision of the club to life. And there's a lot of people out there that are very qualified, but there's also a very small pool of people who bring the vision of what Mark's trying to do here, and I think we found the perfect match for that. So excited for you. Thanks.
Before we break up and allow media interviews, I do want to point out just one stat here that might really jump out at you. Before today, there were 22 professional women's soccer head coaches in the United States. Only 22. 14 in the NWSL, 8 in the USL Super League. Stacy is now number 23, and less than a third of those are women. So it's rarefied air, and we're excited for the impact, Stacey, that you can make for not only the game here in Jacksonville, but also for girls and young women who are playing the game here in Jacksonville and beyond. We'll break up and allow for one-on-ones or group interviews with members of the media. Then Stacy and Mark and Becky and Steve and Ricky will go out for some photos at the stadium. If you want to follow them there as well, you're certainly able to do that as well. I want to thank everybody for coming here and remind you that in addition to all these announcements that we've had, we also have season tickets on sale now. We've just rolled out the payment plan option as well. So a great opportunity for those of you who want to support women's sports, professional soccer, and sports in Jacksonville with Sporting JAX. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you all coming out today for this momentous day in the history of Sporting JAX.